But this drink, the more you drink, the more
The harder you get?
The harder
That's-
you. The
and-
more you drink, the harder you get.
Oh, but man, we're just coming up with lines
This
for
is
your
fucking
business.
great. This is awesome.
Marketing
But that's
geniuses.
true.
It's the Colombia Podcast Show.
Welcome to the Colombia Podcast. My name is Andrew Messia.
I'm Joel Duncan.
And you are?
Lizeth Martinez.
Whoa! Lizeth Martinez in the house.
Such a better sounding name than ours.
Of
Joel
course.
Duncan.
So
Lizeth
today is a
Martinez.
great day, right, Joel?
It is.
Every day is a great
being a
day.
guest.
I've never had a bad day in Colombia, actually.
I can't say the same.
No,
I've
I've never had a bad day. I can't think of the day that I've had a bad day. I know that you got robbed once, but that was probably the worst day in Colombia for you, right?
I think I got robbed twice. Actually, I got an attempted robbery once and a robbery once another time, so that's twice.
That's too bad.
It wasn't a bad day. It was a character building day.
But
I
today
learned
was a
that.
good day, right?
Hi.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But today was a good day.
You know why it's a good day?
Why?
Because I'm just going to say this. This is our first Afro-Colombian woman guest on the show. And I'm trying to tell you, they do exist. They do exist.
Yeah.
It's not a myth. It's
So
not a myth.
yeah. So apart from Joelle, this is the first Afro-Colombian woman.
Oh.
I'm
Sorry, the second. She's the second person on the. Oh, nice. Very nice. I like that. Oh,
I-
very nice.
First of all, I love your earrings.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're
From
beautiful.
the
They look-
community.
They're what?
They're from the community,
What community?
like an indigenous community in the Chocó.
Oh, wow. In
What's
the
that
Chocó.
community called?
It's in the Medio Atrato. That's
Okay.
the name of the region, Boca de Amé. Yeah.
Oh, very
Wow.
nice.
I went to Chocó. When was it, Joan?
Oh.
Joan, ¿cuándo se
2 years ago.
fuimos a Chocó?
2 years ago. You went.
Joan me secuestró and took me to Chocó.
Yeah.
Really?
Joan, ¿cuándo fuimos al Chocó? 2 years ago. We went to Chocó 2 years ago. We went for New Year's.
Where about?
We went to Quibdó, and then we went to Yuto. We met the mayor of Yuto.
Really?
He came out and met us because we were with white people. And they were the only
Definitely,
white people.
yeah. I can tell
yeah.
The
that.
mayor came out and met us. I ate el tamal chocuano. I love, ¿cómo se llama? Pastel
El pastel de
chocuano.
arroz chocuano.
And I honestly think it's the best tamal in Colombia
Yeah, it is pretty good.
because I'm vegan. So you could
Oh,
make
yeah.
it very easily vegan. It's just rice.
Yeah. Yes, and cheese,
And
probably.
cheese. Yeah, and some cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, we jumping ahead. You are well. Let us introduce you first. Let you introduce you. Who are you? What's your name? Where you're from?
Okay, cool people. My name is Lizeth Martinez. I come from the Pacific Coast in Colombia, a place called Quibdó, Chocó.
Is that in Czechoslovakia? Is what I've heard. Czechoslovakia.
Not really. I don't think it's a coolest place.
Okay, because our friend Jovan that's from there says he's from Czechoslovakia, and I don't know if it's a real. I thought it was a real place.
Oh my
So it's not a-
God.
it's
I
just an
think he was
invention.
playing with you.
Okay, cool. I was like, what a cool
It's a
name. I
cooler
didn't-
place.
Okay.
Yeah. We had some beaches.
Some bitches?
Yep. Like, oh my
That's
God.
that's
got it
why I
now.
went. That's why I went.
Okay, cool.
Andrew went
You
out
got
to-
me on that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Like beautiful paradise.
Yeah,
if that
yeah.
sounds better.
Yeah, beautiful
Yeah,
paradise.
yeah. But I am from the main city, Quibdó.
Yeah.
And I am here because I am bringing to you a beautiful drink that is made from the community.
Okay. And what a question for you? Do most people from Quibdó speak your level of English, or how did you learn English?
Not really, but it's getting better. I study overseas. I had the opportunity to get into a scholarship and and I went to Australia to do some studies. That's
Okay,
why.
so real quickly, how I met her, her mother. No, how I met her was we were at a local like event right here in Manila, and she said, "Would you guys like to try this drink?" I was like, "Yeah." It's from the Pacific Coast, blah 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 blah. And I take the drink, and she's like, "Yeah," and she's looking, and then she says, "Would you like another drink?" And of course, I'm like, "Hell, fucking yeah, give me the other drink." And so I took another drink, and then she goes, "But would you mind 1 minute just filling out this small survey?" And I open my phone, and it's Survey Monkey, and it's like, "What did you think of the first drink and the taste? And what did it remind you of?" I'm like, wow, this is the smartest person in, call it small business, that I've seen in a long time here in Colombia, because she's actually giving the shots, but she's collecting data, I guess, to better her brand. And that's what I thought at the time. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. She's like, "Yeah, I studied in Australia and this and that, and this and that." And then I got drunk.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
a quick.
definitely.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And he
Go ahead.
bought a lot. So that
I
was
bought a lot.
you.
I didn't
Yeah.
buy a lot. It happens, the
Yeah, yeah.
wallet
But,
just.
A quick interjection was because he was very impressed because he's a data analyst. So when he saw a
really?
survey
Yeah.
with asking questions about how you felt and all that. Now I get it because I never knew about this shit until
Yeah.
I started a business with him and realized that he's a nerd.
Yeah.
And he's
100%.
a data nerd. So it made sense when he said, "Wow, this is the smartest person in business." I'm like, "She's got a survey."
Yeah.
It's like, "No, it's more than a survey. She's getting my feelings, my emotion." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, wow,
it,
okay."
It was a Survey Monkey. I mean, who the hell uses Survey Monkey in Manila? But it was great.
And
I
at
thought that was
time,
excellent.
right? Because it
Yeah.
was at night
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
arrived
yeah.
to the stamp.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
Who the
really
hell
late.
is doing Survey Monkey in the night? Only you and me. Yeah. But yeah. So tell us a bit about Viche, and I'm gonna pick it up for a second. Actually, no, I'm just gonna mess up our whole decoration.
I can grab it.
later.
Do you want me to grab it?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
There it is. That's
I've been
called
working on my yoga.
Viche.
Yep.
And say your brand because I was mispronouncing this brand until today when
Definitely.
Jason was like, "Why do you keep calling it canoa, which means canoe?" And I kept calling it Viche Canoa, which means canoe. And he's like, "That's not canoa." So how do you say your brand?
Let me see.
Canao.
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 Yeah.
What is canao?
But actually, it's funny that you call it canoa because that's one of the reasons why it's called canao. Because
Okay.
it's come from the word canoa and caña.
Oh, okay.
Caña, which is the main ingredients to prepare. Yeah, that's made
Sugarcane.
from sugarcane. Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So we take the juice of the sugarcane before it get ripe, and we kind of like ferment it. That's
Okay.
made completely artisan in the communities back there in Chocó. It's made in the whole region, in the whole Pacific region in Colombia, but this one comes specifically from Chocó.
And why did you decide to make a brand of Viche? And it's Viche for everybody
Yeah.
that's watching. It's not Biche. Even they say Viche, but it
Yeah.
sounds like a B. But why did you get into the Viche?
Because my dad has done that for so long, like 30 years, more or less. So he's been doing this. He and the community leaders.
So your dad is technically a
Yeah.
criminal.
Not really.
But technically it's not. But wait, I know you're
As
going to say,
I
wait,
said.
hold on. We got a criminal's daughter on our show. From what I understand, this
Yeah,
drink
I know what you
Viche.
mean.
So all of the Americans, the United States folks, and the Canadians watching this is basically Viche is basically the moonshine
that's
of
called
Colombia,
it.
and it was illegal until last year. I think August or something.
November.
November. Okay.
When the legislation
So your
was
dad
signed.
has been doing illegal business for 30 years. Good on you and your father. I really
Not
love that
really.
shit.
He
Good.
was fighting a really big battle
Okay.
against these traditions. That's actually one of the main, the main achievement
Yeah.
of these traditions. Last year, they signed a legislation who say it's legal to produce, it's legal to commercialize, and it has to be in the Pacific Coast.
That's awesome.
It can be anywhere else in the in
so
all
only the
Colombia.
Pacific Coast can
Only
make
the
it.
Black Colombians can produce a drink that is come from sugarcane called biche.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
That's
that
amazing.
was a really big
Congratulations.
Ah, that's great.
achievement, and we are really happy. Looking forward the next challenge and what we need to do in order to be completely legal, but that's a really big step into.
But that's sort of like I would say like the tequila of Colombia in a way.
This is the mezcal of Colombia.
The mezcal.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
more
don't know.
similar.
I would go with tequila because,
Okay.
as far as I know, tequila, the only place that tequila can be made anywhere in the world
Yeah,
is
it's
Mexico.
Mexico.
One.
Yeah.
And there's certain states that can produce tequila. I don't know if they've opened it to all the states in Mexico, but at one point it was
No.
like 4. So what you're saying, though, is this drink now, it can only be made in the black communities in the Pacific coast of Colombia.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Like,
cool.
I mean, if
That's
you want to
awesome.
call it biche, it has to be in that regions.
Okay.
Chocó, Valle del Cauca, Cauca y Nariño.
Are there any other
Nowhere
drinks
else.
that are similar to it that are not called biche?
Yeah, here in Antioquia, let's say they do like some called like tapetusa.
Oh, right. okay.
Tapetusa. Yeah, it's a lot
yeah, I've
of
had
them
that
made with sugar
in the
cane.
pueblos.
But the difference is because like they kind of like mix it with raw sugar, which
Okay.
is not completely good.
Okay, because it's not distilling it.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
distilling it.
So
okay.
I've got a couple questions about business. So you're obviously creating the drink, you're bottling it,
My dad and the community leaders create
create
the
it,
drink.
and you
Yeah,
market
I
it?
ma- yeah.
You
and
market
I
it.
commercialize it.
You commercialize it.
Yeah, and I did the whole design and so on.
Okay.
Is that what you studied in Australia?
I did a master in advertising.
Makes
It wasn't my strong areas or a skill, but I wanted to do it because I had this on my head. Like,
Okay.
oh, but when I go back home, I really want to do this because my dad is doing this for so long, 30 years, and he's not getting anywhere. So, and the reason is because he has a good product, but he hasn't has a good image.
Of course.
So you need the image to attract people and attract the market to actually try the product. Apart from that, the drink didn't have at that time like a good reputation because of the production process.
Why?
So I
Because
was
they
like,
think it wasn't hygienic or what?
yeah, exactly. Because people is kind of like they doubted the process.
And
the
so
production
one thing,
process.
just quickly for people watching this, when we're talking about Chocó, from what Andrew told me, and I joke about Czechoslovakia, I actually know that place does not exist. But Jovan, I was born in Guyana, South America, and Jovan described where I was born as the Chocó of South America. So I understand that Chocó is they suffer from a lot of poverty, a lot of the government, call it on a national level, does not go there to help. Right now, Chocó, Jovan was telling me he didn't go back for Christmas because it's so
was
unsafe.
really
Because
unsafe.
after the pandemic, it's been really rough, and that's where one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Afro-American, Black as we call it, Colombian communities is. And so when you talk about like hygiene and production and stuff, it's obviously they don't have world-class facilities to produce
Exactly.
stuff in. And then secondly, where I want to actually, what I want to ask you about is, I can understand that this could be something really big for you and bigger than a lot of people can think it
Realize,
is
yeah.
because it's like if you picture a really poor place in Colombia on the coast with a bunch of Afro-Colombian folks that barely have houses trying to produce something, you can understand how the richer folks here where we live here in Poblado in Colombia can basically steal that idea and make tons of money and actually
Yeah.
make tons of money off the backs of people like your father who've been working that for like 30 years and have gotten really nowhere. And so
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy that you stepped in and education has allowed you to do that.
Exactly.
And so what's your role in this whole making this drink, I think it's the UNESCO World Heritage that wants to make it a Colombian heritage drink.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What's your view on that and what do you want to do with that?
Like, honestly, if you analyze what are the traditional drinks right now, and you just kind of like told a whole story behind, right? The way they produce it and the taste of the drink is make it really kind of like flavor with a lot of components that people can enjoy.
Yeah.
Apart from the tradition that is behind and that protect a really particular region that is kind of like in a lot of needs, I think that it would be good for the development of the industry in those areas,
Yeah.
right? For me, it's great. I've been in the process. I was in the conversation while they were trying to agree on the legislation, and I was part of that process.
Yeah.
And we fight a lot in order to get where we are right now.
Okay.
And to protect all of those traditions. So I am really agree that this should be the heritage drink. in
And
Colombia.
are you still a big part of making this drink? Are you
Yeah, I am
one
still
of
on the table
Okay.
talking about it. And
Okay,
that's
excellent.
actually my main goal. That was one of the main reasons why I go into it. First reason, to continue with the tradition of my dad and the whole community.
Yep.
Because it's something that is passed generation by generation. And the second one is actually that.
Yeah.
To get biche to be the main drink in Colombia, and of course, to get it overseas.
Excellent.
Yep.
That's pretty excellent.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Round of applause, guys. That was amazing. That's amazing.
But Andrew, you said something earlier. You said
You
I need to
asked
know
something.
more about this
Yeah.
drink. Why is that? What is the only thing that you cared about?
Well, no, I remember because I've never had biche. I've never tasted it. But when I've been to the coast, I've had arrechon.
Oh,
had
yeah.
a
That's made
lechon.
with biche.
Yeah, that's made with biche,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's
Watered down
super
biche.
sweet.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's like
is.
it's almost milky.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
it's-
milky
it's
actually
milky, yeah,
because it's
very
made with
sweet.
milk and some of the
Yeah.
components.
I remember that I did get very horny after.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he's
god!
walking around with a boner all around.
Oh,
that's why.
yeah,
That's why he
like-
met the mayor. They're like, who is this guy coming with a fucking heart on,
Oh my
walking
gosh.
through our town?
I was on the
like this?
lancha with,
Yeah.
with the wood
Yeah,
out.
actually, you know what? Like biche has so many medical, like medicine purpose. That was the traditional medicines in the community. But another thing that is well known for is because it's like sexual Potentialize?
Like
That's the word?
aphrodisiac.
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Aphrodisiaco.
put the afro in aphrodisiac.
Yeah, they put the afro.
Damn, that's
Yo.
a slogan for you.
But wait a
we
second.
put the afro in aphrodisiac.
Wait a second. I think
Should
like
I write it down?
No, you don't need to. We got a recording.
Yeah, that's
I,
right.
I think that most men, we drink up to a certain point and you're like, yeah, and then everything just goes south.
Yeah.
It's called whiskey dick.
Yeah, whiskey dick, as we call it. But this drink, the more you drink, the more
The harder you get?
The harder
That's-
you. The
and-
more you drink, the harder you get.
Oh, but man, we're just coming up with lines
This is
for your
fucking
business.
Great. This is awesome.
But
Marketing
that's
geniuses.
true. And actually, you don't get really drunk. You just get really steady. And at the after day, you don't have hangover.
Oh, really?
That's for
There's so
true,
much
like,
sugar.
for
Listen,
sure.
I'm sold. I don't know what
All
more.
right,
I
let's
need
try.
to
Can
do.
we try this right now?
Yeah,
Try
definitely.
it. You
So
can pop the bottle.
just so you
Can
know,
I open this one?
yeah, sure. Viche
I open it, I
in the
buy it.
pure is the white one
Okay.
over there.
Oh,
and
should we
from
try the
there,
white
we
one?
made, yeah, you should try the white one first.
Oh, damn
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I already opened it, so that means I got to
That's
pay for it?
okay. Yeah, definitely.
That's it,
Yeah,
that's it.
you gotta pay
And
for it.
talk to us a bit about like the price and what you're doing with this in terms of the brand. Like, where can people find this? Tell us a bit about your brand.
Yeah, sure. So you can follow guys us on Instagram, Viche Canao. There we have the link to the WhatsApp where we take all the orders. We are trying to open markets here in Medellin in some restaurants and bar. We are kind of like distributing here in Manila in open space, but you can also like pop up a message on WhatsApp and we take the orders over there.
And what does a bottle of this go for? Like the thing that Andrew's pouring like it's water. How much?
How much is it? Like
I'm
it's
joking.
worth-
How much is that water?
That
bottle?
one is 66 Colombian pesos.
Where's
60,000.
your thing?
Yeah.
Can we get
I
a
already
shot?
had two.
Oh, you already
yeah,
had two.
Yeah,
Two is
to be
enough for you?
prepared.
Yeah.
Not really, but it's still okay.
So
All right.
one of the things we take a cheers,
Cheers.
and we'll try this.
Cheers. We'll let the crowd try too.
One of the
Let's see
things
where it
that,
goes.
that we like to do on the podcast
smooth.
is also
Yeah, it
I love it.
to promote local businesses and help local businesses grow. So if anybody's watching this podcast, whether you're in
Pass that
Colombia,
around.
you're in Europe, you're in the US, wherever the hell you are, if you have experience, one with marketing liquors or anything of the sort, and you something sparks in your head. I know we've got some people sitting here that are really top-notch marketers, even in this crowd right now. If you've got ideas that you want to bounce off her, let's collaborate, whatever, help this
Welcome.
brand grow.
Yeah, pretty welcome. Definitely. Like we are still on the process to grow. So any recommendations are more than welcome.
Okay. And is there anything else that you'd like to tell these people? This is a very short, quick episode. What would you like to tell the people staring at us right now behind the cameras or that are watching this about the product, about Colombia, about any message you want to get out there? It doesn't have to be about your brand. It could just be about what's happening here, anything.
For me, just the idea of seeing you guys doing this in my country, you saying that you have had a really good experience here, and you, even though that you get robbed 2 times in a strange situation.
One was an attempted
But
rob.
you okay, but you are still here enjoying this country.
Yeah.
All I wanna say to everyone seeing us is to give yourself the opportunity to come and realize how beautiful and rich is Colombia. I am so glad to be back in my country because I came because of COVID. And I was coming for 2 weeks, and accidentally I ended up staying here for 2 years already. And it's been the best decision I had done in my life. And about my dream is like, give yourself also the opportunity to try traditional drinks and traditional activities in Colombia. Like this support a really large community in the Pacific Coast.
Yeah.
And so, give yourself the opportunity.
Well, the Colombia Podcast supports your brand and supports that community and supports the Pacific Coast. Thank you very much for coming out here, and thank you very much for sitting down. And
Thank you, you guys.